Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, those men that are doing this work in sincerity and in truth across the four corners of the earth. And much love to the 1/3 and the innumerable multitude of you believers out there. To you all, I say Shalom. I'm the brother Yeshaya. And I pray, Lord willing, that this lesson is edifying through the Spirit. All right. I'm doing this really off the cuff. It's probably not going to be too long, but it's up to the Spirit. I'm driving, and this, a lot of stuff I've been thinking about. And the Lord just put on my spirit to say this now. Basically, it's going to be entitled, sometimes you're going to be denied, I might say things, but shit that you want in this life. And you got to be man enough to deal with it. Sometimes you're going to be denied things, man. That's just a part of coming in the truth. Sometimes you're going to lose things. Sometimes you're going to be denied. But you got to realize, am I man enough to overcome this? Is YAHAWASHI dealing with me to bless me to overcome this? To that feeling of, people, let's be real. Being rejected is a bad feeling. Being turned down, being let down, all of those things are bad feelings. As a matter of fact, while I'm at it, and Salaki, if my hand is going over the mic, I've been telling you, I've been trying to work on that. Trying not to put my hand over the mic when I'm doing these lessons. But I'm going to get the definition of rejection here. Okay. It says, this is the Oxford. It says the dismissing or refusing of a proposal or idea, etc. The spurning of a person's affections. You see, so rejection. So that's the spurning of a person's affection. So you feel rejected. You feel like somebody did you wrong because you didn't get what you want. You got rejected, and that goes into anything in life, man. Anything that can go to dealing with your woman, dealing with women, not even your woman. You're dealing with women, right? There's plenty of broads that you might have hollered at or tried to get at or flirted with, and you got denied. Hey, it is what it is. You a man, move on. Shit, man. The Lord will even help you in them situations, because when really the Lord's sparing you from something terrible. Number one, I'm going to keep it real. I even had to cast a lot on something. It was this for y'all who know. Yeshaya loved me like an Asian Israelite foreigner. That don't mean I don't love the sisters, you know what I'm saying? And how they look and all that, you know what I'm saying? But the end up it be hard to deal with in this society. I don't mean we don't like how you look. We're just hard to deal with that personality. But as far as like nations, we love all the nations, And like they say, Yeshaya like variety. But as far as I do love, I like an Asian Israelite foreigner, the look of her. She's a good looking woman, you know what I'm saying? But recently I saw an Asian Israelite foreigner. I was like, man, I should go holler at this broad. But the thing is, she looked basically like, I knew she was a Jake. She's basically like a nigga woman, but Asianized, and she had on like basically booty shorts. She had braids in her hair. Looked like a straight up Asian or straight up Moabite, straight up Ammonite, one of the two, and she even had the white toes on. I'm like, man, this is a goddamn nigga woman. She might be Southern Kingdom, but she looked good. You can still, she had the femininity of an Asian though. She ain't had that proud look to her, but she was like with a sibling or something. I was about to go holler at her. She was with her sister, her cousin. I was about to go holler at her, but then I was like, man, she give me them nigga woman vibes. I like, let me cast a lot. Lord gonna answer this for me. I cast a lot, sure came up as a straight up no, and so, hey, what did I do? I was lingering around the store waiting for the right moment, not like on some stalker shit, but like she was in the same aisle as me, and I was trying to wait for her cousin or sister to walk away, so I can go holler at her. But I was gonna go anyway if the lot said, yeah, I don't give a fuck. If I want to holler at you, I'll holler. You know what I'm saying? But then the lot said no. I picked up my basket. I walked straight out the store. I ain't second think about it. And this wasn't about that. This ain't about the rejection of women. This is about the things that you're denied in your life. The woman was just the first example I used, right? You're gonna get denied things. You're gonna get denied places when you're looking for a new place. You're gonna get denied jobs when you're applying for places. You're gonna get denied things that you want to. You're gonna get denied box. You know, maybe it's the Sabbath and you got a hot one that just came across. She hitting you up on the Sabbath. You know, you're gonna get denied money. You're gonna get denied cars. You're gonna get denied loans. You're gonna get denied happiness. You know, a lot of things you're going to get denied, man. But at the end of the day, you got to stay focused on your purpose and focus on YAHAWASHI. As long as you don't get denied in front of Yahweh and YAHAWASHI, that's all that really matter, man. That's what it really comes down to. Right? This is Mark 8:34. It says, and when he called the disciple unto him with his disciples, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So it's things about yourself you got to deny. Shit, you know, it's things that you might have liked to do. Let's be real. When you were in the world, you was probably smoking trees, doing drugs, being an adulterer. All of those things you have to deny within yourself. And it's things that the Lord going to deny from you. Does that mean he hates you, or does that mean he despises you, or he trying not to do good for you? A lot of things we get denied are for our own good, man. Let's be real. Your ass probably don't got a wife because it needed to be denied, or you was going to end up being a sucker, you know, or you was going to lose your focus. Your ass denied children because you probably could have been a bad fucking father on this side. Your ass get denied a place because maybe it's some Edomites that's up in there that would have had terror upon your ass, you know. Sometimes you get denied jobs because it's something that you need to learn within yourself, you know, before the Lord can employ you somewhere else. You know, you're going to get denied by your family members. Your family members going to deny you, man. You know, shit, your woman might deny you. But all of that shit is denied. Denials are meant to make you stronger, right? All of those things that if somebody says a no, Yahawashi got another door open that's a yes. You see, you got to be able to be man enough to think through that and think past that and deny yourself and take up your cross and follow Yahawashi. You know, that's what's important. That's what's majorly important, man. Right? Now I'm going to read Luke 9:23. It says roughly the same thing. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. So every day you got to deal with denial. Every day you got to deal with rejection. Every day you got to deal with somebody telling you no. Shit, even on my job, I got part of my job. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I do, but part of my job is motherfuckers telling me no. And I gotta be able to get them to say yes. You know, am I pissed when they say no? Especially if I done wasted 20, 30, 40 minutes of my time? Absolutely. But you gonna get told no. But you gotta deny yourself and follow Yahawashi. So don't think just because you deprive things in this society and you deny things that the Lord ain't trying to show you something bigger. It's probably something within yourself that needs to be revealed. And so Yahawashi is trying to show you that, man. You know, so we're following after Yahawashi and denying ourselves so that he can approve of us before his Father. Right? Matthew 10:33 says, but whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Okay? That's what it comes down to. And I want to get this verse. Let me first get, I'm going to go to the blue letter for the word deny. Let's see what comes up, you know? In this society, let's be real. People don't like being told no, man. People don't like being told no. And you taught that from a young age. When you were a young child, man, when you was a brat, you tell a child no. They start pouting their lip and they want to cry and they catch a fit. As a man, we're used to being told no. Y'all, we used to being told no from women. How many times women have ever hollered at men and that dude said nah? So women don't know how to deal with rejection. You know? Well, we've been built with this all our life, being told no. Some of your parents ain't give you as a child. Your college you wanted to get into rejected your ass. You know? A job you said, hey, matter of fact, you know, I was 1 week I got pissed off at my job and I started applying other places. But I got over that shit and I'm good back on my job. Nonetheless, during that week, I was applying for other jobs. And when I was applying for other jobs, another job hit me up. And I didn't even expect him. I was like, fuck, man, I kind of didn't want to leave my job now because we got everything situated. But then I had to consider it. They invited me to an interview. I went to the interview and I thought I killed the fucking interview. But I think the main reason why they told me no was because of how much I was asking them. But that was a part of their budget, so shit. You know, I asked for it, but I think they got a dude for half the price that was able to still do the job so they can save money on the back end. But nonetheless, they sent me an email the other day and said, well, thank you for appreciate for interviewing for the position. But unfortunately, we've been taking another candidate. And the girl already told me, I already talked to her. She was like, yeah, we got another person, honestly. You know, I don't want to keep you in the dark and I want to be transparent. And I appreciated that. But at the end of the day, honestly, deep down, I didn't the job would have been cool, but I didn't really want to leave my job. They just pissed me off with something that they did. And so I thought I was in a position where I had to. But the Lord worked it out. You know what I'm saying? But that job still rejected me, even though I kind of didn't want it. That's how women be. You know what I'm saying? They kind of want you, but they kind of don't, but they reject you anyway because they got options, right? But that's another thing about having options and things like that. But they denied me, and a part of me was like, damn, it still would have been nice for them to say yes, you know, but that's through. I got something that I'm relying on already. Why am I mad that they told me no? Why? So I can deny them? That's what we be saying about broads. A broad flirt with you and come and have you holler at her just so she can deny you and reject you and tell you she don't want you. Do you see the foolishness with that and how that don't make no sense? You see? That's Babylon for you though, man. All right? But the Lord has given us the spiritual mind to be able to deal with that kind of thing. To be able to get above rejection. To be able to be told no. For somebody to see your line and for you not to give a damn. You know? For somebody to see your beard and, you know, somebody be like, why don't you shave? You look cleaner without it. And so you just say, fuck that. I'm going to serve my Lord because this is what, for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. You know? I'm going to read this. The word here is shawal. Shawal. Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm sorry. Shawab, which also return. All right. Shawab also means to return. It says to return, to turn back. Right? It says to return, go back, come back, of dying of human relations. So rejection kind of feel like dying. You know what I'm saying? Something, you're denied being oxygen. That was something you wanted to thrive within you, and it didn't work. It says of human relations, of spiritual relations, to turn back, to turn away from God, right? Of inanimate things and the repetition. So it can even be inanimate things. You can ask somebody for something. You can ask somebody, be like, hey, yo, anybody eating that last slice of pizza? Y'all know how that be. You really wanted it. You the only one asked. But then somebody be like, nah, Art, that's for me. You be like, God damn, I really wanted that last slice. It could be anything like that, man. But it says to bring back, to restore, to refresh and repair. So that's where you understand the denial is really to refresh you and to repair you, brother. To get your mind in a certain attitude and a mind state so you can deal with things like that in the future. So you can deal with larger things. It says to draw back, to allow, to return. You see, so when you deny it, now the Lord is allowing us to return. He denied us of his name. He denied of his law, statutes, commandments, all of that for a period of time. But now we're restored and we're refreshed through the spirit that it was given back to us. You know, there's something we was talking about recently, you know, at regionals, that the Lord takes things away. You know, that's a big saying in the world. I gave it to you. I can take it away. I brought you into this world. I can take it away. So the Lord gave you life. The Lord gave you a spiritual liberty. The Lord gave you all these things to make you into a better vessel. But now when you get denied, you can grow back stronger. So now it ain't nothing when a broad tell you no. You be like, it is what it is. You ain't gonna, you know, you might tell the brother like, this bitch told me no. But you know, now I'm not saying you might not think about it, because it is some bad broads in my life. They'll be like, that bitch told me no. Don't worry, bitch. I'll see you in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Or she gonna get trodden down the streets. Either way, we win. Even with YAHAWASHI, no matter how it turns, we win. You know, either she gonna be your wife in the kingdom of heaven, and she gonna be enthralled with you. She gonna be head over heels for you. You know, or she was a true enemy of the Most High, and she gonna get trodden down, and you might see it. You know, and still might get her in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So, brothers, we always come out on top when you're dealing with the King of Kings, man. Right? And that's the importance of lessons like this. That's the importance of this mindset and knowing that what YAHAWASHI is trying to do with us. Being able to feel that feeling of denial, or feel like you partially dying, but still being able to live and push through that anger, that emotion, that feeling. You know? Being a man, not always being sad, being pent down and bent up and woe is me. Right? We all have fucked up periods of our lives, but as men, we don't got no choice. The world don't look at us and be like, oh, well, show us some pity. We ain't women. We ain't pets. We ain't children. Y'all know we don't get no sympathy out here, man. We got to deal with this shit. Our sympathy comes from the Bible. Our sympathy, our love comes from the Holy Scriptures. That's our comfort. And you always remember that and keep that in your chest no matter wherever you go. I'm going to read this and I'm going to wrap it up after that. After this, this is Proverbs 30. I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, every word of God is pure. Every word of YAHAWASHI is pure, man. So no matter what the people lying to you about, the people deceiving you, the people trying to get over on you, the people doing you wrong, right? His word is pure. It says he is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. So you put your trust in YAHAWASHI, he going to be a shield. He going to be your defense. He going to be able to keep you safe. He going to be able to keep your mind from thinking things you're not supposed to be thinking. And if you do think it, you got the spiritual wisdom to overcome it. Right? You brothers, I'm going to say this, man. Y'all are intelligent, man. Y'all are intelligent. If the Lord put his spirit on you, be one of his first creations, that means you helped create this world, man. Y'all are intelligent. Don't let nobody else tell you different. You're intelligent. You're wise. Right? You're, you know how to provide. You know how to do different things through the spirit. You got to tap into what YAHAWASHI is trying to show you, man. How to be a better man. How to be a better brother. How to be a better leader. All of us, those things apply to each and every one of us. All right? So use YAHAWASHI as your shield and trust in him. Don't be trusting in your ways, trusting in your flesh, thinking that you can do all of this shit on your own. Right? That's your first fail. You can't do this on your own, bro. We tried that and we failed miserably. All right? And this in this life and the ones before. It says, add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. So we don't go in here and add to the Bible. And we break it down. You know, this girl one day, you know, she tried to say, you adding to the scriptures. I was like, no, I'm breaking it down so you can understand. You can't learn without a teacher, man. And that's the problem with these people. We ain't adding to the Bible. We ain't twisting nothing, right? But it says, 2 things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. So this is King Solomon saying, Lord, it's 2 things that I'm asking of you, and please don't deny me these things. All right? That's the mentality that he's coming in. The Lord denies many things. But these 2, I can say this for a surety. Hey, brothers, you done been broke. You done been down bad. But your ass, like, we didn't even hit rock bottom. I know brothers that have been homeless, but even still, the Lord still gave you a shelter. The Lord still gave you food. The Lord still made sure that you was all right, even in your worst day in Babylon. I don't give a fuck what. You can go back in your mind and try to haunt and think upon your worst day in Babylon. The Lord still was down for you. You was still breathing. You was still eating. You was still thriving. Even if it seemed like you was at your lowest. It says, remove far from me vanity and lies. So, hey, get vain things away from me. Lies, get those away from me. He says, give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. So, you know, he not wanting to be exceedingly rich. You know, we kings. So do we want to be wealthy? Absolutely. Do we want nice things? Sure. We descend from great men who had great things. But at the end of the day, man, y'all, brothers, we live down here in Florida. And I'm sure everybody, no matter what state you in, got a nice-ass area. You know, in Florida, bro, it's some nice-ass housing. Nice cars. We see people, you know, I work in one of the cities down here where you see people thriving, bro, making money. Everybody got nice cars. I'm the only Negro with a dent in my car. You see what I'm saying? But nonetheless, I'm glad that I got a car. I'm thankful that YAHAWASHI gave me a car and I'm able to get by, even if it's in the midst of my enemies and they got nicer shit than me, man. You know? But he also said, give me neither poverty. So I ain't in poverty either, man. I got food on my table. You brothers got food on your table. Y'all got cars. Y'all got clothes. Y'all got food on your table. Y'all got houses over your head. Y'all got the scriptures. You got the brothers to love you. You got so much. Get out of that fucking you destroyed spirit just because things not working out for you. You know? It's going to work out eventually, man. The Lord said he's going to give us 100-fold, man. He said, feed me with food convenient for me. So whatever situation you're going through, that's what's convenient for your ass right now. But nonetheless, you got to pray to be better and you got to do better, man. You know? Shit, I'm like, my situation, you know, I'm not going to go into the detail, but something I've been doing, you know, that I was like, man, you know, I need to, all these years I've been dealing with this. 2 things actually recently. 3 things, if I'm be honest. 3 things I've been, was dealing with for years, you know. It ain't going off for nothing, y'all, so I don't want y'all to get no thoughts like that. But 3 things that, you know, there are things that are internally that you can deal with, that you know is a problem to make yourself better, but you just refusing to do it. You just, because you in your flesh and you being lazy, weak, whatever it is. But now I'm acknowledging those things, and I'm like, man, I'm tackling them shits head on. And YAHAWASHI, Lord willing, is giving me the spirit to do so. And you got the same mentality to do it, brother. You know? He says, lest I be fool and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. You see that? So he says, Lord, give me these things, because if I be full, if I got too much money, if I got too much wealth, I might deny you because I don't think I need nothing. You see? That's how Nebuchadnezzar was, right? What did Nebuchadnezzar say? He went and he basically, by my glory and my majesty did I do these things, and the Lord smote him and turned him into a beast, man. You see? Why he said, while the words were yet in his mouth. You see? So you don't need to be exceeding rich. Yeah, it's nice to have a better car, have a better house, but you ain't gonna get the best fucking house. You still gonna get denied some places you was looking at. You ain't gonna get the best fucking car. They still gonna say, no, your credit score ain't high enough. You ain't gonna get the baddest broad, because she proud as hell. Even though you a man of the Lord, she can't see your righteousness. So, brother, you gonna get denied. You know? And maybe this job don't pay enough. Hey, work the fucking lower job till you find something better. You know? Stop looking for the greatest. Look for good and good enough, and then pray for better. May the Lord help your position, man. Right? But it says, lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. So now the scriptures do say, you know, basically not to despise a man if he steal to feed his soul because he's hungry. But nonetheless, you don't want to be out here. If you thinking you got to survive and go out here and beg for food, you can be like, man, the Lord ain't dealing with me if you got to beg for all your meals. But the Lord don't do us like that. He said he have not seen us forsaken and begging bread, man. All right? So, hey, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Hey, brothers, he said we don't want to deny YAHAWASHI, so deny yourself. You know, even though you're going to get denied in this life, we're going to be approved by YAHAWASHI soon. He says, for it is my good pleasure to give you the kingdom. His flock, man. You know, so Lord willing, we be part of his flock, and we're going to get more than our eyes could wish, more than our ears could hear, brothers. So just keep your head up, keep fighting, and stay strong. We're going to get up out of this thing. With that, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and mercy to the elect. Until next time, shalom.